Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiana Piles. I'm a co-founder of BSTARS here in Memphis, Tennessee. Tonight, I am joined by Ngazi as part of the Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle. And Ngazi, thank you for everything. I see it. Where are we going, girl? Where are we going?
I actually have to go pick something up about 20 minutes from here, but I wanted to be on here so I can pull over in a few minutes as well so we can talk.
If you are driving safely, nah, girl, this is part of the work and what we do. Your hands free and all that good stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yay. All right. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Okay. Let's take this one off. One of our places is giving us a little bit of an issue, so we're going to remove there. Yep. Remove. That way we can make sure that this is nice and smooth. Yep. Okay. Well, I thank you so much for joining me as we're traveling 20 minutes away. This is great. I'm on a road trip.
Yes.
What I wanted to do is to be able to take this opportunity for you to talk about your Black breastfeeding organization and yourself. So, if you would share with everyone, a little bit about yourself and why you are so passionate about this work. So tell us about you and Ghazi.
Well, I got to tell you, today is a really special day because it is the 27th birthday of my firstborn and the first baby I breastfed. So this is a pretty awesome day for me. And I had some challenges with breastfeeding in the beginning. I'm not from a breastfeeding family. So when I made the decision to breastfeed, it was pretty radical, right? My siblings were asking me, why did I want to do that? My mother said, I didn't breastfeed and y'all were fine. Why do you want to do all that? Have your big old breasts out in front of people. So I was a little nervous about it, but I did my homework. I chose midwives from my birth experiences. And so I said, I want to learn as much as I can because I know it's healthier for the baby and for me, so I'm going to do it. And we successfully breastfed till my son was about 2.5. But we had some challenges. I just want to say thank you to the WIC program because my lactation consultant with WIC, she was there for me and she gave me the encouragement that I needed to move forward and to nourish my baby. And I was so impressed with the support that she gave me that I wanted to learn how to do what she did. I wanted to know what it meant to be a lactation provider. And so at that time, I wasn't sure what that would look like as far as going back to school, getting hours, and that sort of thing. So I just kept hanging out with her, and we had a breastfeeding group. We started a breastfeeding group for Black and Latino women here in my city of Pittsburgh. And I
Okay.
just watched her. I watched her a lot, and I watched how she supported women and what that looked like and what it meant to have somebody that was your personal cheerleader that told you that you can do it in spite of the challenges, that if you wanted to breastfeed, that somebody was there to help you through it. So as I continued working with Becky, I had my second baby 3 years after that, had my third baby 3 years after that, and then 2 years after that, had my fourth baby, and then 5 years after that, had my fifth baby. And what I
Wow.
learned through all of those experiences is that breastfeeding is like learning any new skill, patience, and practice and support. And I was able to get that through Becky. So shout out to Becky Alkey. She's since retired. I'm grateful for her leadership and her mentorship. And, what I learned through those experiences is that it's important to have Black women supporting Black women. Becky said, I'm a white woman. Your community needs you. They need
Awesome.
you to be there supporting them. So I appreciated her teaching me all that she knew. And so in 2014, there was Black Breastfeeding Week. Some of the ladies in our community, social activists, they called me and they said, hey, God, we need to do this work. We want to support Black women. I had just gotten out of grad school that summer. I was tired. I didn't want nobody to ask me to do nothing. I said,
Mm,
I ain't doing nothing. I'm chilling. I care about Black Breastfeeding Week, but I'm tired, right? But what I learned from that experience was I wanted to be the very change that I was asking everybody else to be. So in order for me to support women, I had to get up off my butt and say, hey, grad school is over. It's time to put that degree and all that money I spent and still owe y'all pray for me, right? Put all of that money into practice, because it's just theory when it's books and stuff and you're in class, but now I needed to put it into practice. So after graduate school, we had our first meetup in August of 2014, and we thought it was just going to be a yearly event, but women started contacting me and saying, hey, we need to do this more often. We didn't have any money. We didn't know how we were going to do this, but I have been praying, right? And the Most High heard me, and I said, Lord, I want to be the change that I'm looking for. So what does that look like? So we started meeting once a month at our local libraries. A group of us went into our own pockets, pulled out some money so that we could have healthy foods for families. We let families know about us. Doctors and midwives started letting mothers know about this group that was meeting up. They said there's a lactation consultant leading this circle. And we would get together and just talk about the joys and challenges of parenting and breastfeeding. Well, after a couple of months, the group got so big, we had to meet twice a month.
Awesome.
Right? Then we had to start meeting 3 times a month. And then after, I guess, a year or so, someone approached us and told us about a grant. So we got our first grant for $7,000. So we were able to purchase food and books and toys for the kids. And we started meeting at our local libraries. And so we were really excited. We were able to sponsor folks to go to Rose each year. And we were able to join different local and state organizations that supported breastfeeding families. We especially wanted to focus on mothers that were going back to work and that were experiencing challenges with their employers. So we made sure we learned about the Affordable Care Act. We made sure that families knew that they were eligible for a breast pump. We got our name out there. Hospitals, nurses, doctors, midwives started referring moms to Uncertain. Moms that had babies in the NICU that were having difficulty with latching, we were able to visit them in the NICU and provide that compassionate, humble, evidence-based support. And so now, as of 2018, we are grant funded through the CDC. We're with other organizations in our city to focus on Black health. And we know that breastfeeding is first food. So whenever we talk about maternal child health, we need to talk about breastfeeding. So we just we'll be completing our 2nd year coming up here at the end of the month, and then we'll be going into our 3rd year. So it's a 5-year grant, and we are hoping by the end of our 5 years that we have sponsored five women that want to take the CLC, and then we also want people that are looking forward to becoming IBCLCs, that we can sponsor them, that I can mentor them and provide what they need. They can shadow me and visit other families. So that's where we are. And we talk about parenting and nutrition, how to eat healthy on a budget, how to have a healthy relationship. So we talk about all of that. So that's where we are today. We're meeting virtually due to the pandemic. So we meet every week where folks can bring their questions. We have giveaways. We're able to get diapers and wipes and sanitizer and masks to families and toys for the babies to really promote literacy. So we're grateful for the donations that we are receiving. So we're very, very grateful.
Wow, that sounds like quite a blessing. And girl, just hearing you talk about your journey, isn't it amazing how God works? Where here it is, a choice that you made of your own body, in a family that had not seen breastfeeding, turned into a career and blessing others, and all these stepping stones. I wanted to ask you first, what you said you gave us a wonderful shout out to WIC. And yeah, I was a WIC mom as well, and they were very supportive. What made you decide to ultimately breastfeed, being that you didn't have that support from home?
Well, I did my homework, and I was trying to learn about all things natural. So we chose midwives for our birth. And what Black people need to be reminded of is that midwifery is not new to us, right? It's not just for, some people think it's for white hippie women. I've heard people say that, right? We have the largest birth center in the country right here in our city. And I've
Oh.
heard people say, oh, that midwife stuff's for these white tree hugging women. I'm like, no, sis.
Mm.
Midwifery is not new to us, right? It's all
Right.
trendy now, but we've had midwives since the beginning of time on the mother continent, right? When we
Mm-hmm.
look at pictures and cave drawings about how women gave birth, those were midwives, and the two women on opposite sides of her were her doulas, right? Doulas
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ain't new to us. We've been doing
Right.
this, right?
Right.
My mother was birthed by a black midwife, 77 years ago in Alabama. So
Wow.
I reminded my family, I said, this ain't new to us, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
ain't new. And so as I did my own research and started learning about all things natural, I started learning about my body, things I was eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
How to give birth unmedicated, or if I wanted medication, what medications could I use? Then
Right.
breastfeeding was a part of that whole conversation. So as
Oh.
I started learning about that, I said, well, I'm going to breastfeed then. Yeah, it made sense to me, but I knew that I was, up against a family and a community that thought that breastfeeding was only for white women. And that's what my aunties told me. They said, we don't do that. That's for white women. I said, well, auntie, I'm going to breastfeed. She said, you go right ahead. And I most certainly did. I've always been a little bit radical, right? I'm the youngest out of six. My mother told me that I came out the womb a fighter. I came out the womb with my own mind. So choosing breastfeeding, choosing midwifery care, it made sense to her, right? She said I
Mm-hmm.
always had to do things my own way. But she said I was born a leader, too. Even as
Okay.
a mother, she said I had leadership qualities. So I'm grateful for how my mother poured that into me, even as a young child, that I knew that I was born to lead. I didn't know what all of that looked like, but I'm grateful
Mm-hmm.
for her example, very much so. So, yeah, breastfeeding made sense. And like I said, it wasn't always easy, but I had support, and I'm grateful that I was listening to God's voice telling me this is what I needed to do. And so becoming a lactation consultant, becoming a lactation provider, a CLC, all of that just made sense. I loved working with families. I loved serving families. And then I went on, so my bachelor's is in maternal child health and my master's is in public health.
Okay.
And so all of it just moved together, all in line. It took a little bit of time. I'm a little bit of a late bloomer. I started school and left school after a while. I was really struggling at the time with, my mood was sad. I had a lot of depression, and I left school, got married, had my family, went back to school, and then went to grad school. So, everything happens in its own time. You can't rush
Mm-hmm.
your blessings,
Nope, most definitely not. No,
right?
girl, and you are not no late bloomer. You had all of that experience and everything to gather so that you could be a blessing to your family and others. I love following you on
Yeah.
Facebook. I love how you talk about your mom. I just love your heart and your support for your community. You and I, we met back in 2016, back when we both have more
That's
hair.
right. That's right. That's right. We both had long hair. That's right. You had beautiful fro. Oh yes, I remember. Oh yes.
And it was
Oh
interesting. I was like,
yes.
oh, gosh, I didn't cut her dreads off. I said, oh, okay. So yeah, girl, I stalk you on Facebook, but
That's all
just
right.
love the
That's
work
all
that
right.
you were doing. Yes, absolutely. So you talked about WIC, and that's such an important support part that some of our um sorry, some of our states do not have the support of their state and local health departments as they should. And that's one of the things that I try to challenge us to create those relationships. And sometimes they're a little harder than others. I don't necessarily, well, nah, we understand why. But
Oh yeah.
they got to get, we got to get through. That's part of why these disparities exist. And so
Yeah.
until we truly have those hard conversations and find the allies that we need to help us help ourselves,
Mhm.
we aren't going to really truly move that needle. So that's awesome that you have that support. Girl, I hope to be like you in a moment. Our state health department is very supportive, but there's still more they can do, you know. Um,
Mhm.
so that is
Mhm.
awesome. And isn't it amazing how like you hear it as you have a family for breastfeeding, but you end up talking to them about everything else. So then you can
Yes.
provide all of these other resources and networking and all this stuff like this. And they came for breastfeeding education and support, you know, initially.
Mhm.
But once again, is how God works and how the tribe we do, which is not new. Like you were saying, midwifery and doulas, that's not new. We are reclaiming all of this. Breastfeeding is not new.
Right.
We're reclaiming. And so in that, like we're truly a part of a movement, you know? And
Yes.
so I feel blessed to know you and to watch your growth and to take note and for us to feel like, you know, this isn't a competition. It's like we're all out here doing this for us in our own ways and what we can learn from each other, you know, and just create these like not working in our silos, you know, just truly spreading this information, support, love, you know, for our families. So I really love what you're doing up there, up yonder way.
Well, I need to.
Hey,
I
love,
got family in Memphis. I need to come on down.
girl, you sure do. You got some more family in Memphis now.
That's right. I
So
need
just
to
to
come
say,
on down.
as soon as things get even better together, yes, absolutely, please.
Yeah.
That would be fun, and people would be jealous of our pictures.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness, girl, you be. Well, let's see. So can you officially do the split still?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I gotta limber back up. I used to be great at the splits, but I'll be watching. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I've seen hold your leg up to your head and all that good stuff. Jada does
Oh
that too.
yeah.
So I'm like,
I
oh,
I can still do a full split. I can still put both of my legs behind my head. I've
what?
always been flexible. I've been a dancer since I came out the womb. But when I gained all that weight, I could still do some of that stuff. It just hurt more, right? But now
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell me nothing now.
It's
I'm
been
doing
amazing to watch
all
you.
kind of splits.
Oh my goodness. I see. It has been amazing watching you on your health journey, you dropping all that weight. Oh my goodness. It's just been fun and a joy to watch. I wrote some
Thank you.
questions down that way because we can just talk. So
I can talk to you
okay,
all day.
especially on this road trip, girl, we need some good music. In fact, I'm gonna ask you about that in a minute. Okay, what
Yes.
services does the Pittsburgh Black Breastfeeding Circle provide?
Yes. So we are partnered with the Healthy Start Center for Urban Breastfeeding. And
Okay.
they are a grant funded organization as well. They're through Healthy Start. So for those
Okay.
first 2 weeks, they get round the clock support. That's when a lot of moms are, quitting breastfeeding in those first 2 weeks. So we send them to Healthy Start Center for Urban Breastfeeding. There is a CLC, and they're also led by an IBCLC. They work together.
Okay.
They are able to provide 24-hour support. So pre-COVID, you could call at 2 in the morning because somebody's on call. She will come to your house and make
Wow.
sure that you are all right. But due to pandemic, all the support
Mhm.
is virtual now. But
Okay.
moms are like, they appreciate that virtual support. And what
Mhm.
I appreciate about this is that for some people, there's hierarchy between IBCLCs and CLCs. We need to get rid of all of that foolishness. We're all lactation providers, right? We
Absolutely.
didn't set up
Absolutely.
that hierarchy. We didn't set that up. Somebody set that up. So we want people to know that we have both. We also have peer champions through the Black Breastfeeding Circle.
Mhm.
So when we have our virtual meetups, the peer champions that have been trained by me, they lead those circles. They answer breastfeeding questions. A lot of folks were asking questions about returning to work,
Hmm.
pumping. Is it okay if I take this supplement and that supplement? So we're able to provide that support for them, and they have somebody that looks like them that that can answer their questions. So that's primarily what we do. But we also now we're a diaper bank, so we get diaper donations. We have families that are out of work, So we are grateful to provide diapers to families, even just crayons and coloring books and books. One of our former funders, we're not even under that grant anymore. She takes
Wow.
shopping quarterly and buys like $500 to $1,000 worth of books for us.
Wow.
And we share them with our families. So we get books for the kids, we get books for the parents that center on Black life. What does that look like? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful for that. We also make referrals to our therapists in the city. There are therapists in our group. So if a mom is struggling with depression, we know who to send her to. Moms can get that support. We have moms in our circles that provide all kind of stuff. We got one mom, she's a chef.
Wow.
She makes, oh my goodness, she made the bombest pretzel salad. I wanted to hire her personally so she could live with me so I could eat her pretzel salad every day. Right? So, we're talking about eating healthy. How do you do that? What does that look like? We have therapists to talk to moms about what it means to be in a healthy relationship. Yeah,
Hmm. Wow, that's
we
great.
got all of that support for families. We wanted to get and start talking about baby wearing, talk about that. How do you
Mhm.
braid your baby's hair? We got people that can do head wraps in the group. I'm like, that's what's up. We are one-stop shop. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yep. Yes. Promotion of Black business
yes, that's
and,
what's up.
in a trusted circle because you know how we are with our children, so
That's right.
uh,
That's
we got
right.
to build these relationships and they're precious and shoot, we pretty much can do this ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just amazing how the network works. And it's a blessing how God puts people in your life, and through even COVID and social distancing, it is important for us to still keep the connections that we have worked so hard to create and keep going, because that's that's how we power ourselves up. So
That's right. That's
no,
right.
back in the house, back in the house. If you want, you can. My apologies. Let him know that I will. I'll give him a call a little later, and he's doing something, please.
This is real
Thank
life. I'm thriving and you talking to your babies. This is life.
you. Like nope. And it's funny because you do these lives, and all of a sudden they want to pop up and ask you some crazy questions. I'm like,
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
So of course, did I look crazy on live? But yes. So mommy stuff, and yes, we're working it out, multitasking. Oh,
That's
this
right.
is
That's
our
right.
life. So I'm so glad that you have joined us on this Million Milk March. For
Yes.
me, selfishly, it just gives me another reason to be able to call and contact. So I'm
Yes.
loving reaching out to my sisters across the country. I'm missing you
Yes.
all because, of course, we're not doing our conferences like we usually do. So this is
Yes.
just an excuse, and we are going to get better with time. I know this year. It was like, hey, all of a sudden it went from a thought idea, then we were rolling. And so, with
Yes.
love and thought and understanding, we are pressing through. I'm so glad that you've joined us. I love the fact that we get to promote each other and,
Yes.
um, just spread the word. Um, Continue the momentum, even though other things are going on. And some of us were kind of scrambling to figure out what we were going to be doing for National Breastfeeding Month, because a lot of our activities usually are in person. So it was
Mhm.
just like, oh, well, yay, still do your local, but add this to it, and
That's
let that
right.
be what it is, and let's keep going. And so,
That's right.
so I wanted to ask you, how are you coming along with your steps?
I'm actually doing well, and I have a pedometer. I really like those. My gift for my 50th birthday next year is going to be a Fitbit. I'm going to get it. I'm going to work it out. But until
Okay,
I get my Fitbit, I'm counting my steps. So I'm doing
okay,
well. I'm going back to the gym now. They have been impressing me with how well they're keeping up, making sure everything is clean. So I go when ain't nobody in the gym. I either go late at night, at midnight. It helps me not to eat, right? If I go at midnight and get on that treadmill, I'm counting them steps, right? I'm doing my elliptical. So yes, I'm doing well, and I'm bringing some other sisters on board so they can count their steps as well.
Okay, all right. Okay, so when you're doing these steps, we know you got a 5 playlist that you rock to. So we need your top 3 for the playlist.
Okay, one of my ultimate favorite songs, hands
Mhm.
down, is MC Hammer's "You Can't Touch This."
Oh my
It's
goodness. Okay.
fast. It gets me going. It gets me moving. I also really like James Brown's "Get Up Off of That Thing." Right? It gets me going. I can drop it low to that. Salt, Peppers, Push It. Right? I love Salt, Peppers, Push It.
Okay.
Right? Yes. I those are like my top 3 faves, and I really like, if I want to slow it down, if I need to feel a little sexy, I play Pony by Genuine. I can get down with it, you know. So those
That was
those are my tunes that I really
Did
really
you say
like.
Pony by Genuine?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'm sure that helps with the flexibility too.
Yes. I can get down. But Salt and Peppers Push It. I love playing it for moms when they're in labor. It gets everybody laughing. But it really gets me pumped on the treadmill. I feel like I can do anything. When all else fails, if I feel like I'm tired, I can't push that day, I put the theme from Rocky, "You Can't Tell Me Nothing." Right?
Oh yeah, that
It
is a
gets
good
down.
one.
Eminem's
So have
"Lose Yourself," I get down with that too.
so have you ever run up them steps, being that you're up there in that area?
Okay, I didn't run, but I did walk up the
Okay.
steps, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I did walk up there. So Philly is a good little drive from us, but we were there for the Democratic National Convention 4 years ago. We walked the steps. It felt nice, but my goal, I want to be able to run them steps, right? I can do it now because I don't have no pain no more. My knees don't hurt. I'm going to run up them steps and do a video. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Girl, I look forward to that. I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, what? No, she did it. What? Okay. Yes. Yeah. Girl, we're going to find me some steps to try to climb up. We've been
That's
doing
right.
double dutch. That's been our challenge for August, doing our
Nice.
double dutch. So it is our plan. I did at the beginning of the month, I showed me double dutch. And of course, I'm hit or miss. Girl, my children don't know how to twirl. Oh my goodness. They're double handed and all that. I can't even believe it. I know I taught them how to double dutch, but I got
Yes.
to reteach them. And then, but they've been doing awesome, especially the boys, which are it's amazing. But okay, I'm like, okay. So by the end of
Right.
the
That's
month, I'm
right.
hoping, yes, do a live with everybody double dutching. I'm like, look, make sure you're carrying your phone or your pedometer. Make sure you get them steps in. Oh,
Yes.
what a workout! What, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
you know, how are y'all been doing? Just social distancing, sheltering in place. How have you been doing through all that?
It's been hard because I'm an ambivert. So I have my introverted side where I need to be alone, but my extroverted side that misses hugging and kissing my friends and going out to dinner. It's been rough. So as a family, we all get together. We go take family walks. We do family hikes. Like my favorite thing to do now is I go to the grocery store. I be putting lipstick on to go to the grocery store because like that's where we going. That's the only place where we're really going. But it's been hard. Like our youngest, she'll be 14. She only gonna be going to school virtually. She's missing her friends. You
Right.
know, so we're just trying to stay positive. We have a nice big backyard, so we go out there and hang out, and that's our little getaway because we're not traveling
Mm,
really right now. So that's what we do to stay focused. We watch movies as a family. We laugh together. That's basically what we're doing, and we're praying together. We're having family meetings and just enjoying each other's company, and that's how we're getting through. But it hasn't been easy, but we're all healthy and we're grateful for that.
yeah, good. That's a blessing. And I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to ask that because that's, it's like, how are you doing? We're so busy, of course, taking care of others. But on top of COVID-19 issues and things and sheltering in place with our families, yeah, I definitely hear you, sis. So hang in there. You're in our prayers.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Thank
I know it's very different.
you. Yeah.
Um, I appreciate you so much for joining us. I
Thank
would
you.
love to However, you're gonna have to get my keys for it to open it. Oh, that one? No, get my chart keys. And they'll have an umbrella in that because I don't know if when you open that.
Small one in the house.
Okay, that's okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. It's starting to sprinkle, but I'm hanging in there. You know, natural hair don't care,
That's right. We ain't
but
worried about it.
but the electronics though. So I'm like, oh.
Exactly.
So my mom is headed to
Exactly.
go get me an umbrella. She seems to pop up at these amazing times that she does. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Um, I let's see. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Mm, oh, how can you be reached? What is your social media handles? All of that kind of so that everyone knows.
Yes. Well, you can find me on Facebook. I think I'm Gauzy Journey Lighter on Facebook. I think I can't remember. I get it mixed up because I have two Facebook pages. I'm on Instagram as Journey Lighter on Insta. My other page on Insta is Gauzy18.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I have some Twitter handles. I'm new. I mean, I'm not new to Twitter. I'm just getting more into Twitter. I've been on there for a little while, but I think I'm Gauzy18 on Twitter as well as Journey Lighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know I follow you on both on Facebook. I gotta make sure I'm following you both on Instagram. Okay. All right. Awesome. For our people to know how to follow you and reach and contact you. So Pittsburgh, you said that's far. That's about how far away is that from Philadelphia?
We're about 6 hours from Philly. We're actually closer to DC.
Okay. Okay. Good
Yeah.
to okay. Good to know. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like
Just
4 hours from DC.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what I wanted to do in closing, I thank you for this time and opportunity. I just wanted to update our leaderboards. So I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. Doo, doo,
Okay.
doo, 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 doo. Let's see here. Share screen, share screen. Yep, there you are. Okay, yep. Yes, I talked to my electronics. It seems to work a little better.
That's right.
Thank you.
Boy, the things we do for steps.
Uh,
I'm losing you. Where'd you go?
thank
Can you see me? It's starting to go out a little bit. I can see you, but I can't hear you.